Well, hello there. My name is Freya, and today I'm going to tell you another story about Tiny the ferret. This is the tale about when Wally the Walrus came to Tenby to visit. So if you're sitting comfortably with your blanket all tucked in, your favourite toy beside you, then the story will begin. When Tiny read the headlines of a walrus seen nearby, he would have to go to Tenby to find out the reason why. Tiny liked to go to Tenby, but early in the day, to avoid the many tourists who would get in Tiny's way. Arriving at the North Beach, Tiny looked across the sand, grateful that the tide was out, as he much preferred dry land. He ran across the beach like a wind rush through a sail, propelling forward motion with the swirling of his tail. As he neared the lifeboat slip, he quickly looked around. This was the last location where the walrus had been found. He met the walrus warrior, who kept the crowds away. He thought a little ferret might just be okay. They said his name was Wally, and the public had gone mad, desperate to get close to him, which made the walrus sad. Tiny made a promise he would keep a fair way back, just in case the walrus decided to attack. He scurried round the rocks to where the walrus lay, basking in the sunshine on a hot and sunny day. He approached with steady caution, but the walrus seemed quite calm. Tiny gave assurance he did not mean any harm. Wally welcomed Tiny with a warm, accepting grace. He really was quite thankful to see a friendly face. So Tiny had to ask, why Carmarthen Bay? Had he seen an advert for a chance to get away? Wally had to laugh. This was not the case. He had no idea why he'd reached this special place. He chose to leave the Arctic before it was too late. Their colony was dwindling. He had to find a mate. He travelled many days till his body ached with pain. So he climbed upon an iceberg. For his strength he must regain. He must have been exhausted, as he slept for quite a while, hour after hour, mile long after mile. The rumble of his belly, shouting to be fed, made Wally leave the haven of his iceberg waterbed. Tiny let poor Wally share his sorry tale, certain that the future of his colony would fail. So Tiny was determined, a mate he'd try and find. Calling in the cavalry was what he had in mind. First he'd ask the seagull to find a friendly seal. Then between the three of them, they'd help with this ordeal. Wally was delighted, so happy he could weep. For now he'd save his energy and settle down to sleep. The seagull was obliging. He would gladly help a friend. He headed out to sea with a message he could send. He came across a seal lying in the sun, eager for adventure and the time to have some fun. The collective gathered round for the plan that lay ahead. But Wally wasn't shifting from his newfound makeshift bed. The seal had planned a journey, and he headed out to sea. The first stop would be Ramsey, where the seal had family. The word then spread to Ireland, as it carried up the chain, heading up to Orkney, then bouncing back again. It happened in the Faroe Isles, A walrus had been found, not having any purpose, as she'd lost her hunting ground. The walrus was called Winnie, and was living all alone. She longed to have a family, a place she could call home. When she heard a walrus was looking for a mate, Winnie shouted, "Lead the way! This rendezvous won't wait!" The journey back was trying, as they travelled day by day. But Winnie found that hope helped spur her on her way. But danger wasn't far away. A hungry killer whale, following the easy prey, hot upon their trail. A seagull flying overhead saw the fin below, but how to warn the convoy, the seagull didn't know. He dived upon the killer whale, attacked him with his beak. The whale was very angry. He could not believe his cheek. He rose out of the water as he came close to the beach, but the seagull saw him coming and kept out of his reach. The commotion in the water sent out a danger sign, but Winnie and the seal climbed out just in time. They lay out on the rocks as they watched the fin go past, knowing they'd been lucky and hoping it would last. The seagull had to think. Now that the whale had prey, they were known to be quite devious and would not go away. He checked to see that Winnie and the seal were both okay. He had to reassure them that help was on its way. The seagull hurried back as fast as he could fly, billowing a jet stream like a rocket through the sky. He landed next to Wally to tell him of his tale. Winnie was in danger from a hungry killer whale. Wally took off like a shot. With this walrus, do not mess. Determined he would rescue this damsel in distress. When Wally found the whale, an anger rose inside. He would catch this killer whale and take him for a ride. He planned to grab his tail, which kept him out of reach, then drag him all the way and leave him on the beach. The killer whale was furious. He thrashed his tail around, but Wally hung on tightly as his belly hit the ground. Winnie and the seal were waiting for a chance as Wally and the whale danced a deadly dance. Finally the coast was clear. They hurried to escape, fueled by fearful energy, the risk they'd had to take. The whale had to resign himself. This war he could not win, hoping that against all odds, the tide would soon come in. He yelled out in his anger, "You've got away this time. Don't think that this is over, 'cause soon you will be mine." The trio were exhausted when they finally hit base, totally relieved that they'd won this fatal race. Tiny was excited. He'd helped to be a part, introducing walruses to make a brand new start. Winnie was delighted to meet her special beau. Wally was her hero. She would never let him go. Wally played it cool as he held a macho stance. He knew within his heart of hearts this was a true romance. So that is where we leave them as they make it on their own, looking for a special place that they can call their home. The end. I've been Freya. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon for Tiny's next adventure.